Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about celebrating ideals. Here's a question. Who do you bow to? Right? Who would you bow to willingly? I'm not talking about being subjugated where I come up and force you over, bow to the king, slave. We're not talking about that. Who would you willingly, as a knight of at the round table, and who would you call king and bow to your king? Who? You see that shit on TV and these motherfuckers are all about it and they're just like, my king. Who would you do that to? Anybody? I know lots of people who are tough guys and really have big egos and think a lot of themselves, and they would answer this very clearly and say, nobody, motherfucker, nobody. I'm not bowing to anybody. Nobody's better than me. We're all equal, right? Is that the fantasy? Let me tell you something. We're not all equal. I don't know who told you that. Maybe your mother. Did your mother tell you that when you were a kid? Your coach didn't tell you that. We're not all equal. Your math teacher didn't tell you that, as he's giving one motherfucker an A+ and giving you a D-. We're not all equal. It's so frustrating when people think that we all come from the same stuff and that we can all get to the same place. I mean, you really have to think about that. And I had to be honest with myself. Maybe I have to work a little bit harder in life. Harder than the next guy, harder than the next 10 guys, harder than the next 100 people, because I didn't come from the same type of family that they came from. I didn't have a father in my household. My father was on the run, a fugitive, in prison. So I didn't learn lessons. You learned a lesson from your dad. You respect your dad? I don't. I learned nothing from my dad. Not like that, at least. Not like you're thinking about. Well, father-son Andy Griffith lessons. I wished I would have learned that shit. And all it meant, I'm not trying to play a violin and say, you know, I'm a victim. All I'm saying is, in order for me to be successful in life, I had to learn to fight a little harder. I'm going to go through a lot more. I'm going to have addiction. I'm going to have being in the streets with gangs. I'm going to have all that comes along with not having a father. And that doesn't mean it's doom and gloom and death sentence. All it means is you have to work harder. We're not all equal. And people who don't celebrate an ideal put themselves out of the game, so to speak. They're not within the hierarchy of man, where we each start at the bottom. This is climbing the ladder of life. You start at the bottom as a baby who shits itself and can't even feed itself. You'll die if someone doesn't help you. And then when you get older, towards your death, you're supporting many, hopefully. You're supporting many. You're the king who has people bow to you. But in order to get to that throne and have people honor you, not just be courteous. Courtesy is fake. But to have people bow to you, you have to learn to bow to somebody else. You have to join the cycle. And to learn to honor somebody. This is what team sports is about. On a basketball team, like Michael Jordan. I always liked Dr. J better than Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan was the greatest ever, you know. And he wins the game. He's got 60 points, 70 points. And his ability, it was really him. Without him, you'd be 60 points less. He's got the game-winning shot. Everybody runs out onto the court to pat him on the back. And that's honoring him. To lift him up. Well, they'll physically lift him up if it's the championship game. They'll lift him up on his shoulders. Big, strong, capable men will lift another man on their shoulders in a form of honor and carry him around. We've seen that kind of celebration at all kinds of sports matches before, and it's just a fascinating ritual. that somebody would honor another man like that. A warrior would honor another warrior like that. That they don't have that ego. They're not saying like my friends would, fuck them, fuck everybody, ain't nobody better than me. They're saying this guy is the shit. That's the guy, that's the fucking man. Michael fucking Jordan or whatever, right? It could be Tom Brady or whoever. I mentioned that name and everybody's gonna go crazy in the comments below. So it's just interesting to think about of who do you bow to, and can you celebrate an ideal? The older I've gotten, and the more that I look beyond my ego, stop posing in the mirror and start looking within and seeing the weaknesses where I can work on and become stronger, it really humbles you. And I see other people that are stronger than me, that are doing more, that are smarter than me, that are bigger than me, that have more money than me, that are doing my exact business and are more successful at my business. They're better at what I do than I am. There's people out there like that, and I've identified these types of people. It's good to search who your competition is and to find out who your ideals are, and to mimic them, to be like them. They used to have that ad campaign, Be Like Mike, from Michael Jordan. It's celebrating an ideal. It's not just courtesy. I've had to look humbly and to realize, wow, there are some really amazing people out there. And we can celebrate them, we can honor them, we can aspire to be like them. And that doesn't make me nothing. If I could acknowledge that you're better than me, that we're not all equal, and I can acknowledge that you're better than me, you're higher on the hierarchy than I am, on the dominance hierarchy, on the ladder of life. Maybe you've been doing this for a little longer. You've put in more work. And you deserve that spot. You have more knowledge. You've failed more times than I've ever tried. I realize that I can honor that. I can bow to somebody. I never could before. When I was young and dumb, and this is why I was never really a very successful gang member. I had run with gangs before, but I've always been a cowboy. Me and my brother, we were always cowboys. We were always just on our own. I bounced out of every gang I ever rode with simply because I don't like paying up. I don't like taking orders. I never thought that anybody was better than me, deserved my honor, for me to honor them. I got a little pinky ring. I'm not kissing somebody's fucking ring. And I had this attitude. I got a gun, what makes you better than me? My bullets would cost the same as your bullets, motherfucker. So I thought we were all equal. But we're not. We're not all equal. It's important to understand the concept of an ideal and to embrace it, that there are ideals out there. Ideals, powerful ones, ideals worth celebrating, worth honoring, worth aspiring to, worth loving, worth cherishing, worth making statues of. It's all just food for thought. Thanks for watching.